To not much of my surprise, with today being the first day of New York Comic Con 2022 and the Owl House getting a panel at the event, our first proper look at the newest Owl House episode, thanks to them, has been released. There's two different clips that occurred, and I'm going to go over the clip that was released on my timeline first, even though it may not be in the chronological order of the episode events, so let's just get right into it anyway. Gus is the first character to make an appearance here, and he's all amped up playing with bubble wrap, which is of course very in character for Gus considering he's always been fascinated with how human culture differs from witch culture. So now that he's actually in the human realm, he can geek out to his heart's content with stuff that exists there but doesn't exist in the demon realm. Around Gus appears to be a basement bar table possibly used for throwing parties, a bird cage, a guitar case, and two different pieces of the Dominican flag, one being hung up on the wall and a smaller one in a cup. This is a nice little way to show that Luz and her mom are proud of where they came from, with Luz confirmed to be Afro-Dominican American and all. It's always nice to see different cultures represented in media like this, even if it's, subtle. We then cut to Hunter sitting on the floor of the basement with Camila handing him more sleeping arrangements, acting very friendly towards him at that. So Hunter and Gus are going to be sleeping in the basement while the girls will be upstairs while they're still on Earth. I love how Hunter goes out of his way to get on one knee to thank Camila for giving him a place to sleep. The poor kid won't be able to shake his soldier-like qualities that easily, huh? Camila then walks upstairs to check on Amity, Willow, and V, and if you look close enough, you can see there's already 4 beds set up for the rest of the crew to sleep. V is also showing off how human alarm clocks differ from the demon realm alarm clocks that scream bloody murder, which puts Amity and Willow on edge after they hear the beep, destroying it in a pretty vicious manner at that. I really do like how it's V showing those two human stuff rather than Luz, because V knows what they're going through, what it's like to feel alone in a place that's incredibly unfamiliar to the environment you've been used to your whole life. It feels like there's more meaning with V doing this rather than if Luz did it, in my opinion, which I very much appreciate. The clip ends before we see Luz though, which makes me think this scene will be followed up by a one-on-one talk with Camila and Luz. Whether it's about if Luz can go back with them or not after they can even find a way back seems like a likely possibility, but we'll have to see what happens. Also, considering how this clip takes place the night the gang arrives here, it's very reassuring to know this episode isn't starting off with the few-month time skip already in place. Being able to see these characters settle in a bit rather than doing the time skip right away, it feels like a much better decision from a pacing standpoint, in my opinion. I'm glad an insta-jump isn't being made from the start. The next clip, I have a feeling, took place before the second one in terms of the episode structure, because these guys don't look like they're getting ready for bed yet like they did in the previous one. There isn't really any background Easter eggs going on here either. It's mainly focused on Hunter and Luz still being guilty over the secrets they've hid from their comrades. Luz still hasn't told them about how she traveled back in time to help Philip, and Hunter hasn't told them about how he's a Grimwalker of Philip's older brother. What's interesting though is Hunter uses the phrasing witch hunter when talking about it here though, implying he thinks Philip's brother was also a witch hunter, which may have been the case in the distant past, but based on the portraits that we saw in Hollow Mind, it seems fairly cut and dry that he began to adapt to life on the demon realm, enjoying it at that rather than cursing it like Philip did. Luz decides they both need to tell them when they're ready though, which I'm betting is going to be saved for the climax of this particular episode. Whether how it's going to be brought up or not, maybe it'll be brought up through the evil version of Belos that's still lurking in the human realm, or I don't know. Maybe somebody will just be bringing it up by accident. And how the other characters are going to react is another thing. Obviously, all will need to be forgiven at some point. The question is, will they just not mind from the get-go, or will there be some time where those guys are just pissed at Hunter and Luz before forgiving them? That's the big question there. The clip ends with Camila being caught up to speed about everything that happened during King's Tide, how Belos was defeated, how he used to be human, and how the Collector is the current threat to be concerned about. Luz's goofy ass trying to play it off like how there's a chance they may never know how Belos met the Collector when she full damn well knows how it happened. I want what's best for you, Luz, but sometimes you just gotta keep your mouth shut if you don't want to look suspicious. It's that simple. After everything we've seen, I think I'm most curious now if we're going to get a new opener theme for these specials or not, or if it's just gonna be one of those situations where there's no opening at all and they just jump straight into the content every time, kind of like what Amphibia did with All In and The Hardest Thing. I also want Jacob to make an appearance, very badly. Surely he's involved in some way, right? Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of these new clips shown. Does it get you even more excited for next week, or has your excitement been so high that it possibly can't go any higher even after seeing these? I'd love to know your thoughts. Of course, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like down below. It helps out a ton. But for now, I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Take care. Bye-bye.